Welcome to Eerie, Britain, your gateway to the haunted heart of the United Kingdom. From eerie whispers in forgotten villages to spine-chilling tales of ancient cities, we uncover the ghostly secrets lurking in every corner of the UK. But this channel isn't just about our stories, it's about yours too. Have you experienced something unexplained? A haunting that sent shivers down your spine? Share your ghostly encounters with us and we might feature them in an upcoming video. Join our growing community of paranormal explorers. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale of restless spirits, haunted mansions or spine-tingling mysteries. Your voice matters. Comment or share your story. Let's uncover the truth behind the shadows together. So light a candle, gather your courage and become part of the story. Because the ghosts are waiting and their stories must be told.
Stratford-upon-Avon, a town renowned as the birthplace of William Shakespeare, its streets steeped in history and the echoes of poetic genius. But beneath the charm of this idyllic town lies a darker undercurrent of spectral whispers and lingering spirits. One such tale has persisted for centuries, surrounding the site of an old playhouse long forgotten by many. Its ghostly history continues to haunt the very heart of Stratford, where the drama of the past refuses to exit the stage. This is the story of the Haunted Playhouse of Stratford-upon-Avon. Long before the Royal Shakespeare Theatre took its place as Stratford's crown jewel, the town was home to a smaller, less grandiose venue known simply as the Lantern Playhouse. Built in the 1600s, it was a hub for travelling performers, aspiring playwrights, and the occasional scandal. The playhouse earned its name from the peculiar lanterns that lit the stage, said to cast shadows so lifelike they unsettled even the most seasoned actors. But the true darkness of the Lantern Playhouse lay in its final performance, a night that would cement its place in Stratford's ghostly lore. Evelyn Hart was the Playhouse's shining star, a gifted actress known for her beauty and her hauntingly emotional performances, but her success masked a troubled life. Rumours swirled of a secret romance with the theatre's married owner, a man named Richard Avery. One stormy night in 1642, as Evelyn performed her final act, the unthinkable happened. A rival actress, jealous of Evelyn's rising fame and rumoured affair, is said to have sabotaged the set. As Evelyn took her place on the stage, a heavy lantern above her loosened and fell. It struck her, killing her instantly in front of a stunned audience. The shockwaves of her death rippled through the town, but the playhouse owner's refusal to investigate the accident led to whispers of foul play. Some believed Evelyn's death was not an accident, but a carefully orchestrated crime. Her rival's jealousy, her lover's guilt, and an audience left haunted by what they witnessed. After Evelyn's tragic death, the Lantern Playhouse fell into disrepair. But as the building crumbled, reports of strange occurrences grew. Residents passing by claimed to hear soft humming emanating from the ruins, a haunting melody from Evelyn's final performance. Others spoke of a ghostly figure dressed in white gliding silently across the stage. One witness described her appearance as heartbreaking, her face etched with sorrow as she reached out, only to vanish into the shadows. When the playhouse was finally demolished in the late 1800s, the hauntings did not cease. The site became a cobbler's workshop, then a bookstore, and finally a tea room. But each new owner reported the same phenomena: objects moving on their own, the faint sound of applause echoing at odd hours, and glimpses of a spectral woman in white. Today, the site of the Lantern Playhouse is home to a small shop tucked away on Stratford's historic streets. But the ghostly presence of Evelyn Hart remains as strong as ever. Staff have reported books flying from shelves, cold drafts on warm days, and the eerie sensation of being watched. One shopkeeper described an unforgettable encounter. "I was closing up late one night when I saw her, a woman in white standing by the window. She turned to me, her face full of sorrow, and then she vanished." Visitors too have felt her presence. Some claim to hear the faint hum of her final performance as they browse, while others report seeing flickering lights as though the lanterns of the old playhouse are still casting their eerie glow. Paranormal experts believe Evelyn's spirit lingers due to the unresolved nature of her death, an innocent life cut short by jealousy and betrayal. Some suggest she is waiting for justice, while others believe she is bound to the stage, forever reliving her final performance. Local historians argue that the haunting may be tied to the emotional energy of the audience on that fateful night. Was their collective grief and shock enough to leave a permanent mark on the site? Evelyn Hart's story is a chilling reminder of how the stage is never truly empty. In Stratford-upon-Avon, where Shakespeare's words once brought life to stories of love, betrayal and tragedy, the echoes of Evelyn's untimely death continue to haunt the town. If you ever find yourself wandering Stratford's historic streets, stop and listen. You might just hear the faint humming of a forgotten actress, forever performing her final act in the shadows of history. Stratford-upon-Avon, a town forever tied to the legacy of Shakespeare and the enchanting River Avon that winds its way through the heart of history. But as tranquil as the river may seem, it carries with it whispers of the past and shadows that refuse to be forgotten. Locals tell of a ghostly figure who appears on foggy nights rowing silently along the Avon. Known as the Phantom Boatman, his tragic story is etched into the waters, and those who have seen him claim to never forget the sorrow in his eyes. But beware, for his appearance is said to be a warning, a harbinger of ill fortune. The story begins in the early 19th century, when the River Avon was not just a picturesque landmark, but a vital lifeline for trade and travel. Among the many boatmen who worked the river was Thomas Grayson, a hard-working man with a reputation for being both reliable and kind-hearted. Thomas lived a simple life, ferrying passengers and goods across the river, but behind his stoic demeanour lay a deep sorrow. His wife, Margaret, had died during childbirth, leaving him alone to care for their infant son, Edward. Despite his grief, Thomas dedicated himself to his son and his work, often seen singing lullabies to Edward as they drifted across the waters. But fate, as it often does, dealt Thomas a cruel hand. One stormy evening, as he made his final crossing of the day, disaster struck. The river, swollen with rain, surged violently, capsizing his boat. Witnesses on the shore watched in horror as Thomas desperately tried to save Edward, who had been with him on the boat. Both father and son were swallowed by the raging waters, their cries for help drowned by the storm. Not long after the tragedy, strange reports began to circulate. Villagers claimed to see a lone figure rowing silently across the river late at night, even when no boats were on the water. Some described the figure as a man wearing old-fashioned clothing, his head bowed as if in mourning. Others swore they could hear a faint lullaby drifting through the fog, a melody Thomas used to sing to Edward. The sightings always ended the same way. The boatman would vanish into the mist, leaving nothing but ripples on the surface of the water. As the years passed, the legend of the Phantom Boatman became firmly rooted in Stratford's folklore. Locals began to notice a chilling pattern. The ghost's appearance often preceded tragedy. In one account, a young fisherman saw the boatman on a foggy morning. Days later, the fisherman drowned in the very spot where he had seen the apparition. In another tale, a group of children playing near the river claimed to see a man rowing without oars. That same evening, one of the children fell ill and passed away. The ghost's mournful presence came to be seen as a warning, an omen of impending misfortune. Yet, despite the fear he inspired, many believed Thomas Grayson's spirit was not malevolent, but rather a restless soul bound to the river, eternally searching for his lost son. Even in modern times, the Phantom Boatman continues to make his presence known. Visitors to Stratford have reported seeing a shadowy figure gliding across the water on misty evenings. Some have captured photos of unexplained ripples in the river, while others describe an overwhelming sense of sadness when standing by the water's edge. One chilling encounter comes from a couple walking along the river at dusk. They claim to see a man in an old wooden boat, his face obscured by shadow. As they watched, the boat began to dissolve into the mist, leaving behind only the faint echo of a lullaby. Why does Thomas Grayson's spirit linger on the Avon? Some believe he is trapped in a loop of grief, forever reliving the moment he lost his son. Others suggest the river itself holds a unique energy, preserving the echoes of the past like a living memory. Skeptics argue the sightings are nothing more than tricks of light and mist, but for those who have experienced the haunting firsthand, there is no doubt. The Phantom Boatman is real, and his sorrow is as deep as the waters he haunts. So, if you ever find yourself walking along the River Avon in Stratford, especially on a misty evening, keep your eyes on the water. You may glimpse the Phantom Boatman rowing silently in his eternal search, but take heed, for his presence, while hauntingly beautiful, is said to be a harbinger of tragedy. The River Avon holds many secrets, but none more haunting than the sorrowful spirit of Thomas Grayson, the boatman lost to time and tide.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't have nightmares.